Sport is superstition, science, family, drama, love, theatre. It's everything. That's why we've made a betting brand for sports fans that's better. Gamble responsibly.
Hello and great to have your company once again on Fox Sports Lab NFL. I'm Matthew Campbell, back from a week off last week. Thanks to Ben Dixon for helping out. We're at conference championship level. What does that mean? It means there's 4 teams left. It's exciting. There's 2 great games coming up. Jaymz Clements joins me as always. James, great to have you. 4 teams left. Now there's a bit of similarity about them, isn't there? Because if we look back at the last 5 Super Bowls, there's been 7 teams. 4 of them are still in.
I love it. It's such a great setup, Matty. It's like literally, this is what we have NFL for. Give us the 4 best teams in the second last weekend of the season, and I'm super psyched. I think we got rid of the chaff this past week. We're about to talk about that. I love it.
We'll talk about that because what we'll do this week, we'll take a little bit of a look back to what happened in the divisional playoff round last week. Freddie Mitchell, as always, will join us very shortly from Philadelphia. I'm sure they're all flying over there. And also coming up, we'll take a look at the 2 big games, the AFC and the NFC championship games. And I mentioned Philadelphia. They are going beautifully. They had the week off and they came back and they absolutely destroyed the New York Giants. And Freddie Mitchell, former Super Bowl man himself, joins us. Freddie, from your point of view, how's the vibe in Philly, mate? You must be up and about. Everybody's thinking 1 more week and 2 weeks' time we're into the Super Bowl.
There's no refunds here. Our tickets are bought. We're going to be going to Arizona, and we're going to win the Super Bowl again. And it's going to be called a dynasty the next year and the next year and the year after.
You got to feel good about what we saw. I know that James mentioned last week there was a bit of, when you have a week off, there's a bit of rust or rest. Gee, they came out and they played hard early, and that game was over very, very quickly, wasn't it, against New York?
I didn't even know what team that was. I was like, man, this is the Eagles team that you see on paper, and they're actually putting it into action, putting it into play. I love these guys. I love the team camaraderie. I love the way they're gelling. We need to get the ball to Brown a little bit more. He was 3 for 22, but I love this team right now. They're stacked, and they're playing like it.
Well, we'll talk about their upcoming game against the 49ers shortly, but if we look back, James, at a little bit what we saw, you look back, you've been tipping beautifully, but we all thought the Bills had beat the Bengals. We go to Buffalo, it's snowing, no one gives the Bengals a chance, but no one told Joe Burrow off an offensive line that he didn't even know their names, and they made the Bills look pretty ordinary.
That's Joe Burrow, the best remaining QB in these playoffs at the moment. I'll tell you that much,
On
Matty.
form, for sure.
With a hobbled Patrick Mahomes. And I think that's kind of the big story to come out of this weekend. You've got a hobbled Mahomes on the AFC side. You've got Joe Burrow. You've got that Cincy team that just went into Buffalo and manhandled them, which, to be honest, you shouldn't expect, but that's exactly what happened. Like, this sort of banged up Cincinnati O-line held up fine. They look awesome. The craziest part is they're repeating what they did last year. Second half of the season, we're going to steamroll everybody. We'll make it into a soupy and away we go. But that was awesome. Like, what a setup of a game that was. The snow game. I love a snow game. Freddie's out there. It's all cold up in Philly, no doubt at the moment, but there's nothing better than a snow game. Love that game. Awesome vibes. Cincinnati rolling. Pretty cool. But I mean, Buffalo. What a bunch of frauds.
Freddie, what do you think?
What a bunch of frauds.
He's saying a bunch of frauds, Buffalo. But that's 3 years in a row we've had high expectations of them getting through to a championship playoff game, and they haven't. Are they missing the window here? Are they losing their opportunities?
I think that they're giving up tendencies. I think that that's what's going to happen. They know how to play them. And as crazy as it may seem, Joe Burrow is the man. He is the best quarterback in the game. And like James said, but I really, you got Hurts have done his thing too, because he showed that without him playing, they can't win. So his part into the Eagles organization is great. If they beat the Bills like that convincingly, they're gonna beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm all over the Bengals, but we'll get to that shortly. Talk about the other game that I guess we talk about teams that have disappointed. The 49ers defense we know is very, very good. They made the Cowboys look ordinary. They held Dak Prescott to just over 200 yards. They didn't really have an offense at all, the Cowboys.
That's right. What is it, 12 straight times that they've made the playoffs and not made a title game? Yeah. I know that Freddie's absolutely loving this, but he also loves his Dakota Prescott call from last week. He was right up the money with the, look, Dak Prescott is who we think he is, and he had a great game the week before. More power to him, but of course, throws 2 interceptions in that game. Probably should have had 4. Like, if we're being honest, there was easily 2 other catches that should have been taken by the Eagles. Off they go. They steamrolled them. The Cowboys, what an absolute train wreck of a sort of end of their season I feel like that was. Look, they are the sort of team that promises so much and delivers so little year on year on year. And I know that Freddie's going to be beside himself about watching that Dallas team fall apart.
Freddie, I was talking to Jaymz before. He talked about the fact that you as a Philly fan would probably like to be playing the Cowboys this weekend so you could knock them out.
Absolutely. We wanted to actually play them because just like we played the Giants, we would have done the same thing that we did to the Giants. We know their style of play. We played them before. We know that their weaknesses, and we could take advantage of it. You know, this San Francisco team, like last week, they scare me. They scare me because you know that the defense, with the defensive 49ers, you saw that the interceptions were, I think, a linebacker and in the very middle. And their linebacker squad and their defensive coordinator, the best of the best to me, and they're not even getting that much praise about it, and it really scares me.
Yes, we'll talk about the 49ers defense very shortly. We'll take a break. That's the game we're going to look at next. It's the NFC Conference Championship between the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco, I should say, 49ers.
The betting brand for sports fans. That's better. Gamble responsibly.